Hello, my very good family. Today we're going to be looking at an album, but before we do, we just want to tell you there's going to be some stuff down in the description. Since we got that brief message from our sponsors out of the way, it's moving. Since we got that out of the way, just want to say, today we're going to be reviewing the album Gold by Britt Nicole. My review for this album was one of my most spontaneous, random reviews I've ever done in my life. You may be wondering, Mac, why are you reviewing this Christian female pop artist whose, main audience is middle school girls? Middle school youth group. I don't even know. This album is not made for teenagers. I mean, it's not made for men or guys at all. One day I was just scrolling albums and I saw this pop up. I think it's because my sister owns this album on CD and it was on the music, so I listened to it, and immediately as I was listening to it, the first time I was listening to it, hadn't finished the album, I started writing a review for it. And so that's how it happened. Completely random, completely spontaneous. But here's my review for Gold by Britt Nicole. Actually, before I hop into the actual review, I need to say some things about this album. This album is Britt Nicole's most popular. It has her most popular song, the song Gold, which is actually certified gold. The song Gold is certified gold, and it's a kind of an iconic song. You've probably heard it before. If you've listened to Christian music, you've probably heard it before. Even if you haven't listened to Christian music, you might have heard this song. It had some crossover appeal for people like pop music and for middle school aged girls. And so, okay. The 2013 version of Britt Nicole's album Gold actually has 13 tracks on it, 11 regular songs, and then the last 2 songs are remixes of the song Gold. So I guess this album came out after, because I don't know when her original album came out, but this one is like a separate version with a different album cover. So I'm not exactly sure how that works, but 2 remixes, the last 2 tracks, track 12 and 13, are actually remixes of the song Gold. Also want to say there's one major guest artist on this album. There's actually only one guest artist on this album, period. And it is the head of Reach Records, the Christian rapper Lecrae. That's enough. Let me talk about this album. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it trash? Let's talk about it. The lyrics on Gold are very upbeat. They're very encouraging. They're uplifting. They're just very, very happy. And well, some not all the lyrics are very happy. Some of them are sad and about feeling rejected and feeling like nobody loves you, feeling like you're not beautiful. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, this is weird that I'm talking about this album. But honestly, the lyrics on this thing are encouraging, they're upbeat, and they're honestly not that bad. Honestly, not that bad. The title track Gold is a song written and made it's made for money, of course. But it's also made for all those girls who don't feel beautiful, who don't feel like they're very cool, or they're very awesome, or that they've been told you're not cool, you're not beautiful, you're not great. But it's saying that really you are great and you are loved and all that good stuff. So good messages in Christian music. You also have the song All This Time, which is about how God is always there. He's always there with you through the good and the bad. You don't always see him, but he's always there. This is a topic that's been tackled quite a few times. And that's another thing about the lyrics on this thing. They're all upbeat, they're all happy, they're all uplifting, but a lot of them are fairly generic. You're not going to hear anything super bold or like, wow, that really pushes the limits of Christian lyrics and music. It's nothing like that. It's all going to be stuff you've heard before if you listen to a lot of Christian music and Christian pop. But it's still very uplifting, very encouraging, a lot of good messages on here, on this album. Now, the music on this album ranges, most of this music on this album, all the music on this album fits with a pop album. But there's 2 main moods and tones of the music. You have, most of the album is very upbeat and positive. You have some mid-tempo stuff, and then you have some really slow, almost acoustic sounding stuff. The really upbeat stuff is Gold, Breakthrough, and especially Amazing Life. But then you have these moments that are really kind of slow and serious, and those moments are on songs like Still That Girl, or the last song, the last songs are remixes, but the actual last song, which is Seeing for the First Time. Very slow acoustic music on, not entirely acoustic, almost acoustic music on this album. To be completely honest, the music is very generic. Most of this music is extremely generic, and sometimes, actually I'll get to that later, but the music is very generic, but honestly, the album is well produced. It's pop music, but it is fairly enjoyable pop music. It is music you can listen to and have fun listening to, and the acoustic songs, the almost acoustic songs on this album, the really slow ones, actually do sound really good. They do have very good, high-quality music that works very well with the singing and the lyrics. But for the most part, the music is pretty good. One very negative thing about the music is the song Breakthrough and Ready or Not. These both have, well, Ready or Not isn't, well, yeah. Sometimes on this album there is an abundance of electronic music, and that's very cringy. Especially on the song Breakthrough, it has like an EDM drop, and oh, the Wide Boys remix of the song Gold is so cringy. It's horrible EDM music. The worst of EDM can be heard on this album, on this pop album. Ironically, it's funny. It's pretty bad. The EDM is really bad. The other remix actually is more than tolerable. The other remix can be enjoyed. I forget what it's called, but it's not terrible. The Wide Boys remix, though, is pretty awful. Now, I just said that the music is mostly either good or not good, or mostly tolerable, mostly enjoyable. And then I said with the lyrics, you got actually pretty good lyrics for the most part. A lot of good, encouraging, uplifting messages. But one problem with this album is the singing, specifically the rapping. When Britt Nicole raps, it's the cringiest thing in the world. Like when most females rap, it's cringy, it's bad. There's a reason there aren't a whole lot of female rappers. It's because they're not very good. But she raps on a few of these songs. She raps on Ready or Not. I mean, she doesn't rap on Ready or Not, but Lecrae does, and it's cringy. Lecrae cannot save this song. Lecrae actually hurts this song. It's not good. It's dumb. What he does on this song is dumb. On the bridge of Gold, look, Britt Nicole starts to rap, and it's very cringy and dumb, and it just hurts. It's painful. The lyrics she says at that part are also very painful, unless you're a middle school girl. They're very, very hurtful lyrics to my teenage man ears. They're cringy. And then you also have the song, the worst is Look Like Love. The beginning of this song, what she does with her voice and her singing at the beginning of this song, her little rap attitude, is the cringiest thing in the world. It's so bad. Besides these few intolerable cringy moments, Britt Nicole's singing is not terrible. It's not really blow you out of the water amazing, but it's not terrible. And she sounds especially good on the acoustic songs on this, or the nearly acoustic songs on this album. The slower songs, her voice really comes out and sounds pretty good. Before I listened to Gold, I said, what in the world is this album? This looks so cringy. Just the album cover. You look at the album cover and you're like, this is not something a teenage guy should ever listen to, or a man, or anyone of the male race should ever listen to. It's so overtly made for young females, teenage female people. But I listened to this album, and it is surprisingly not bad. That's what I have to say about this album. The music is really not terrible. Most of the music is enjoyable. You know, it's well produced. It's generic, but well produced. And it's enjoyable pop music. If you like pop music, enjoyable pop music. And lyrics are honestly pretty solid. They have lots of really uplifting and encouraging lyrics and messages and good Christian encouraging messages. And singing isn't bad for the most part. and just a surprisingly not bad album overall. It's not something that I would ever listen to on my own time ever again, but for its audience, for the female, for teenage girls and middle school girls, this album isn't bad. I could see the appeal. If you like this, then I'm not gonna bash you over the head. And surprisingly not bad album. I'm gonna give this thing a 3.25 out of 5. Why did I listen to this album? I can see the comments now. Actually, I don't see a lot of comments. I don't get any comments on my videos. Well, maybe once or twice a month I get a comment. But if I was popular, I could see the comments now. Oh, this would be a huge mistake if I was more popular. Alrighty, guys. It's cold and wet, and I want to go inside. Have a good day, y'all. Have a good one.